start this recording here and the other recording here. All right. Good. All right. Hi, everyone. It's only us so far. There are more people in the outside this breakout room who might be interested. But okay, they will find their way in. They will find their way in if they are really interested. So, yeah, hey everyone, good to see you. I in the last couple of labs there was not that many people attending the lab, so I decided that this time I would just do some work, some real work in the lab, and let you guys watch and ask questions if you have any questions. And I had recently asked Alex Lindsay, who we all know who he is, and he's running the Greymatter podcast and recording and live streaming it using mimoLive. So I had asked him if we can use his template that he made and include it in mimoLive as the Alex Lindsay podcasting template. And I'm very happy that he agreed. And so what I will have to do, of course, is to remove all Greymatter stuff from the template and make it as universal as possible. And, who knows, maybe we can find some interesting additions that make it more interesting. All right, so let me know if anyone have any questions before we get started. Hey, Jerry. Hey.
Will you share the template in Discord or only as a part of that?
I mean, I can share the template in Discord, but it will be in the standard mimoLive distribution. So if you download the next version or the version after next version of mimoLive, it will be there. So yeah. But of course, oh, why don't I have any sound again? What's happening to my sound here? What is happening to my sound? Interesting. Something is capturing my audio.
Oliver, is mimoLive updated for the newest software?
Again. For the newest Mac OS? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm running it on Mac OS 15 here. So okay. Yes. And I've been running it on Mac OS 15 for a couple of months now. So I haven't found any problems. It looks like I might have discovered something, but I'm not sure because yeah, my audio is screwed up on my Mac Mini anyway. I think I installed something that isn't working correctly and disturbing my audio. And so yeah, sometimes I have audio issues now, but I don't know. I don't think it's connected to macOS 15. I think it's just some app that I installed that's screwing things up. Any other questions? Well, as always, I'm toply prepared, so there might be some.
Can I ask a license question?
Yeah.
Oliver?
Yeah.
I've been running the non-profit license. Thank you very much for that. We launching something called MediLearn. So, but commercially, if you acquire mimoLive, does it license per machine, or how does that work?
We are copying for the reason that we intend to stay in line with all our licensing with the App Store. So the license terms of the App Stores are either you can run one copy on multiple computers if all those computers are used only by you.
Right. Right.
Or you can you have to license one. You have to buy one license per computer if the computer is shared with other
Right.
people. So
Yes. Okay.
depends on, you know, if you have 5 people working the productions, you need 5 licenses
5
basically.
licenses. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So let's switch to my. That's it. Interesting. What does it do there? Do you see the? Is that just me, or is there like a ripple effect when I switch? That is interesting. Or is it just my could be my display with these colors? So
I see the ripple effect.
You see the ripple effect?
Yep.
That is interesting. What is it? What is that?
Yep. There we go.
What is that? Huh. Okay. Okay. So here I have
Oliver is making waves.
Yeah, I'm making waves. Yeah, so here I have the Alex's document, and we'll just open it up with mimoLive and take a look what's in there and what we have to change. I have turned on the privacy mode, so you can't see any of the URLs, or let me just launch the mouse posé. Let me see if I have that on here. I should. Mouse posé. I should, so that we can highlight the stuff here. And I think I have set a, yep. So for example, here the URL in the web browser, you won't be able to see that because it's obfuscated. Of course, if I click into it, that will change, so I won't do that. And also the stream keys here, which we should eliminate. Let me just quickly do this, because once I click in here, you will be able to see that, and that is not good. So now I have removed those, and we, yeah, probably, yeah, okay. So yeah, the live streaming setup, we'll look at all the outputs he has, and we'll go through that. Let's start, I think, with the sources, and the most obvious one is the main camera, which is the host. So I'm gonna name that just so we are doing this correctly. Host camera. That is since that is a person that's in the studio. When we turn this into a template, we will remove the information that it's a Blackmagic design device, and it will just show that it's you have to select the video device, so it will probably go to no device. And but right now we want something to see something there, so I don't know how we do this, but probably we should probably use a Zoom source for this. Yeah, let's keep it this way for now. We do have a host camera. We do have a remote participant here. That is a Siphon source. And the reason for that is that Alex is using Zoom ISO to capture the video from Zoom. But we don't do that. We don't do that. We'll use we will use a direct Zoom meeting source. So we'll remove that source. It will tell us that it's used in some other layers, but that's okay for now. And Alex has already added a Zoom meeting source. I'm not sure what that is for, but I assume that he was playing around with getting Zoom in there directly through mimoLive. So what we're going to do is we're going to join our test meeting And I've done that already here. So we've joined our test meeting. So we get some video sources for our documents. So we have someone to show here in the meeting, and we're gonna request recording permissions so that we can actually use the Zoom meeting and select someone. Let's select Susan. So just so we have something to look at. Again, when we turn this in a template, this information will be removed. There will just be a Zoom meeting source, and the Zoom meeting source will you will have to select your own, join your own Zoom meeting, and we'll have to do we'll have to write some sort of step-by-step guide on how to use this template, which we'll also do to complete the whole setup. Because we are working with this template, I will just use one of the Zoom meetings sources as the host, so we can see some video on screen. So I will call this the host via Zoom. And we'll also need a guest. So I just add the guest Zoom meeting. And select someone else, Michelle, I don't know, and call that. And because we want this to reflect the actual name of the person. Now this is interesting because this should, if I remove that, it should. Okay. Should update. It doesn't. That is interesting. And now it doesn't have a name. I think that will be problematic. Let's just redo this. What version of mimoLive am I using here? Is that some old version? Oh yeah, that's the pre-release version, so we should have fixed that. Just do this. And we'll call that guest via Zoom, and have a guest. Okay. So let's see what other audios, other sources we have here. There is something called the remote audio, which I think is when the guest comes in through Zoom ISO, you have to also send the audio somehow to mimoLive. And apparently Alex is using Black Hole. We don't need that because we get the audio directly from Zoom through our Zoom sources. So maybe we should just remove that and replace the source later on. Then we have a couple of images. WBRB will be right back. Is, I think, something that will be displayed when there's technical difficulties. We have Michael as the microphone who's coming in. That's probably the microphone. We should name that to host microphone and studio microphone. And again, when we turn this into a template, we will remove the information on what actual device is used for this, so we can abstract this. And when you start mimoLive using this template, you get all these empty things, and you have to select the physical devices to be able to use that source. Then we do have a desktop capture here. I think, and that's been used for displaying the questions that come in. This is something very specific for Alex, and I think it's using the Mukana system. So we don't have access to that, so we will remove that for now and just see if we can do a different something different. And then we have a background image. We have a start slide and an end slide. I will replace those with more generic ones that you can create dynamically. So right now, if you look at the start slide, it has, come on, why can't I look at this? It has a, just turn on the, oops, this is this, I think. Up. Why is it not working? Yeah, mouse posé. What did I set up here? Settings, where's the settings there? Command Shift 2. Okay, that should work. Command Shift 2. Let's look at the this slide here. We have the logo on the left and the image of the guest on the right, and with the name of the guest below, and we have some text up here. And I think we will make these slides dynamic so that we can easily update this and don't have to go to to Photoshop to do this. The reason why Alex is doing this in Photoshop is because he wants the text to be a certain style with a let me see if I can make that bigger for you to see. So the text should be have a gradient, and this is something we can't yet do in mimoLive. And also he has like I think a slide outline. So this is more complex or a text system that he's using. But we'll replace it with something that is dynamic using just a font and so you can update the text easily in the template. Okay, what else do we have here? Countdown. The countdown is the same. Alex is using a rendered file for the countdown because he wants to have the typography using the special font. We'll replace that with a dynamic countdown that is shown on the screen, so that yeah, so that you don't have to render a movie like this. It's not gonna look as nice, but it's more convenient because you can easily change the end of the countdown and the time it runs. Then we have some images here, and I think he's using those for the ISO recordings, so that the ISO recording is, let me see. No, he's not using that for ISO recording. So I don't know what he's using that for. Let me see. If I remove it, it will tell me if it's used in the document. It's not used in the document, so we can safely remove it. I don't know what this is. This image is probably, oh, it's the background for the countdown. Yeah, we don't need that either because we will have a dynamic system to do this. And he has a Greymatter QR code. I think that is to be able to for people to submit questions. They go to this QR code and yeah, and enter their questions, which will then be used in the Meccana system to be displayed here. So quite a lot of work to do, I think. I'm not sure if we can get it done within the hour, but I will get started. Let's explore more what different optical things this template has. It has a slate. I think that is displayed when the stream is started. The stream is started way before the actual event, so that everything can be tested and checked. So I think uses that. Then we have the countdown. Once we make that countdown live, we can it will immediately start. So it has to start like 2 minutes before the show goes before the show starts. We will change that so we can have a dynamic countdown in any length you want. Then we can go to Michael Solo, and I think we don't see anything here because we don't have anyone connected. We don't have a video in that source. Let's look at where this is, and it's like this one. Michael open. We do have a video here. I don't know why we don't see it. I think we don't see it because it's covered up with something. And what is it covered up with? Not sure. The slate is still going. The countdown is still going. Where's the countdown? Guest Michael. Countdown clock. This is this one. This one. So why don't we see anything? I think maybe. So this is live. This is live. And this is live. Michael Krasny. Let's check this. Okay, here's no. Yeah, that's why we don't see anything. Is because in the Michael Krasny setup here, the correct video source isn't selected. The video source if the video source is not sending any pictures, it's transparent. So you will see the background instead of a picture. This is intentional and expected behavior. But sometimes it's not entirely convenient. And I think we will add to the Zoom meeting source if there's no video. If you turn off your video, it will have some sort of little what are they called? Avatars. So you see at least that that the source is selected, and if you hear the voice, you will actually see a video with the voice. So, but that's a future version. Right now, if the incoming videos is there's no video, it will just be transparent. All right, so Michael Solo means probably Alex made the layer sets to follow with the flow of the show. So Michael Solo is called for the show opening. So right after the countdown ends, Michael will be solo. So I will just rename this because that doesn't make sense that it's Michael. It's a host solo. Then we will go into a 2-up. And again, we don't see anything because the video sources aren't selected. I've deleted the source. So for the guest, we have to select guest. And for Michael Krasny, we have to select this one. Maybe I should just go in and select that for every one of those. So we don't have to do, we have to do that only once. And assign the guests Assign the guests. Assign the guest. That's already there. Assign the guest. So we do have a couple of different picture-in-picture setups here. So basically there's like 4 different, let me turn that off here. There's 4 different views for the host. So we can have the host in a small corner to the left. We can have the host the same size as the guest, or half the screen. We can have the host for the full screen, and we have the host so that there's a little space below that to show a question. And we have the same settings basically for the Zoom guest, for the guest. We have the guest as a large view, so it combines with the subject in this layer to give you this view, and that is nice. We have the guest away when the opening, when the host is opening the show, so that's why it's called Michael Open. We have the guest being the same size as the half screen again, so that it can be the same size as the host. And we have a little smaller version when moving away to allow space for a question below. So for now, we will keep those. We'll just maybe rename them. Any suggestions what we should rename the subject? Is that and that is this view here, if you remember that. As you what should we call this? Is it subject? Is that subject something that you would agree on? Anyone, any idea? No. Yeah, let's keep it subject for now. Also, the even is probably a pretty good naming. I will fix the uppercase and lowercase just because and I will fix the order here. So we have subject even, Michael Open, and Michael Open we will rename host open, host open, so that we are not making it so much about the real show here. All right, good. So we are making good progress. Just make sure I save the document in between things. Yeah, so right now also something you should change is no, this is this one. It's still called the Greymatter Show. We can change the name of the show here, and we'll just remain it something generic. Because what happens if you open a template and you save it under a new name, the title will be updated. So we can safely just call it a podcast right now. Or maybe should say Alex Lindsay podcast and says podcasting template. So that will update, and the impact right now is that it's going to be, once you save files, it's going to use the name of the document to replace the name of the file. So you get file saying Alex Lindsay's podcasting template and the date and the time, and so it's easy to sort your recordings and file that. All right, so I think we have most things covered here. To up, guest, and second, no up lower thirds. That's good. Question, and we'll revert back. Okay, so maybe we should start with rebuilding the starting soon thing. For this, what will we do? We can have, let's see, do we have some generic, I think what we will do is we will build this layout. Alan, can I ask you to mute yourself, or should I just mute you? I just muted him. So, Alan, was that Alan Scott? Yeah. All right. So, why is my audio died again? That is unfortunate. Why do I have to reboot this audio all the time? What's happening here? That is interesting. So, it's probably sound source that's dying on me. Okay, so where was I? All right, let's build this. So I think we'll start with a background image. And my suggestion would be to make one. But for now, I may just use one I already have. So I'm just looking for that now. Let's see what we can have here. Background. There's too many backgrounds. So let's see what we can put in there. Oh, this looks nice. This looks nice. Just right now for sake of having something. Oh, interesting. There's people there. That is probably not what I wanted. Didn't see those. No, well, looks like people once you've looked at it in a small one, but it's probably okay. Just right now, we'll replace that with a different one, but just want to show how to do this. I will start adding stuff at the top, just to make you to be able to. Oops, wait, this I didn't want to. I wanted to have it at the top of the stack, and we'll call that slate background. And assign this new background here, and when we turn that on, we'll have just the background. It's like, as I said, we'll probably get a different background and use that. Maybe something made with AI or something like that. So okay, so just to get things rolling, we'll put a pip window, 2 pip window layers on top of that. Or maybe we should, yeah, it's probably easier to just use this split screen because it's going to be static, and we just want to have two windows basically. So we select the 1 by 2, no 2 by 1. I think we need 2 by, set 1 by 2. No, I want 2 by 1. 2 by 1. Where's 2 by 1? 2 by 1. There's 2 by 1. So we basically already have the basic layout, and we'll have to do some adjustments here. Gap size is probably okay. Background is none, so we see our background through here. We don't want a border. Or do we want a border? What is Alex doing? Does he have a border? He has a very slight border and even like a drop shadow, right? So let's see how far we can get into that sort of thing. I don't think we have drop shadows. Highlighting. What's highlighting automatically? No. What's highlighting? What is highlighting? Highlight A. Oh, interesting. I didn't know we can do that. Huh. Interesting. So, we don't want to show the names. And we want border not to be as crass. So let's do 2. And maybe just a slight gray border. Something like this. Just, yeah. All right. And maybe not maybe a little more gap. Let's make a little more gap. Make the things more square. So, maybe 200 and 200. Okay. And window left. Do 200 there. Yeah, that works. And window right, 200. So, maybe more, huh? Let's do 300. Make that a little smaller. 300. That is too small and also not square anymore. So we have to fiddle around with that a little bit more. Let's make 250. And 250. We could probably calculate the exact numbers, but I'm too lazy now not to do this. So, and I think the corner radius is a little bit exaggerated. Let's do more something like 20 or maybe 25. Yeah, 25 looks nice. Yeah, so we now have the basic layout that the slate has that Alex uses. Now we have to add some text at the top, and we do that with a text field. And I think we'll just use static text. And the static text is maybe not a good idea because yeah, let's try that. Let's see what works best. And we have starting soon. Starting soon. And we'll just turn it on so we see something. And as you can see, there's lots of features turned on that we have to turn off. Of course, we don't want for now we don't want a transition. We can add that later. We want a different font, maybe something system fonts. How do I know which ones are system fonts? And then something like something massive. So there's a system font called, what is it called? Impact. That probably works. So yeah, Impact. Make it a little bigger. Then we have to use the color, and I think white should be the color here. And we can make it slightly transparent, which means that it will take the tint of the background. Once we remove the background here, you will see how that works. So we can have a little outline, do the outline color, and then maybe gray, and 1 pixel outline. And we can even have a drop shadow, but I think we don't want that. We'll figure out the geometry later, but now we'll just remove the background thing, so we just have the text here. And if we go to the center column, you see that we have these direct manipulation tools, so we can move it over here. And I think it's not big enough, and we also should probably align it. Maybe center and center, so, and then make that much smaller here so that it's just there, and then move it back to center, and then probably make it much bigger. So let's try a 100. Still it's not enough, 150. I think we're getting there. Now it's too big for the area we've given it to be in, so we have to make it bigger again, starting soon. And as I said, it should be a little transparent. So let's go back here and make it more transparent. And it's not getting transparent because I think there is something behind it. Background is none. Custom. Maybe I should do background custom. Is it working now? No. Huh. Glass, no, frosted glass is not what we want. It's interesting that it doesn't make transparent. Yeah. Why is it not doing the transparency thing? Just make it a lot more transparent. Maybe that is because of the outline. Yeah, that's it. Rendering the outline makes it not transparent. So let's make it a little bit transparent. At 70%. So you see it's shining through a little bit. If the background would be moving, which is another great idea, maybe we should have a moving and dynamic background. Then you would see that better. So, but interestingly, so we now have like one text here, and so but we need different texts. So so we just make 3 more different layer variations of that. And this one is thank you for watching. It may be too long, so we have to go and make that bigger again. Come on. All right. Okay, the other end also needs to be a little bigger. So now we turn that live and see we can basically, we have to move that back up again. But maybe we should go down to the geometry and make it just so that left margin, right margin, bottom margin. We just use the entire screen thing for this. Top inset should also be 0. And the bottom inset, that's the right inset 0. And this is what makes the thing be at the top. So we should make that probably, yeah, something like that, 812. So now we've changed the settings for this one static text, and we want this to be applied to the other ones as well. So what we can do is we can copy the geometry attributes and paste that to the other ones. So I just go over to the other one and select paste geometry attributes, and I can say paste geometry attributes to all layer variants. So it will be transported to all the other variants. So instantly I have all the text positions fixed, and I don't have to go and do that manually. The third text should be, what do we have here? Thank you for watching. And we do have, we'll be right back. Is something we may not need probably. We are starting soon. Thank you for watching. Yeah. And then we have the countdown. So we don't need that third slate type. But what we need is we need a countdown. So we can have the countdown. So let's do a countdown. And the countdown, you see, is pretty complex. We don't want this event to have a name, and we also don't want this countdown to be like this. This example is awful. It's like, showing off all the things we want to do or don't want to do. We certainly will not have days, hours. So we just look at minutes. So we remove all that stuff. 11 minutes. We don't want this to be written out. We just want the numbers and like what it usually looks like. And we don't want all of that other thing here. So we just want the time. And of course, we want the, oops, I think we need to do this. Yes, we want to have it in minutes, seconds. So we'll have to do that MMSS so that it's always leading 0. Let's turn that on. And as you can see, this countdown, you can actually enter a date and time where it should expire. So let's say it should be today, 2024, month 11, day, what is today's day is 26 and at my time, it's now 8:49 p.m. So we want to have that 8:20 because that's, 21. So 21. And it's time for event. It goes away here. It's just yeah. So in 9 minutes, 49 seconds, this will expire. We can use the same font impact. I don't think it's not mono-spaced, so it will wobble around a little bit. If you want a countdown that doesn't jump around, you need to use something that is mono-spaced, so that all the characters have the same width and all the numbers have the same width. The only one we have in the macOS that is pre-installed is underlay mono. So if we want to do this, it looks a little different than the other text. But I think we should just keep the impact one and see if we can make it same size as the static text. We'll also make it the same kind of transparency. So it will be 65, I think, is what I did there. So it will be a little transparent. Maybe I had 70. I'm not sure. I need to look it up. Let's see. Let's go here. Starting soon. What was the text? Transparency is yeah, 70. Yeah, so we're pretty good there. 7, make it 70. Impact 150, 70. That's okay. So we're basically set with the countdown. We just have to maybe let's see if we can get it a little more. We don't want the drop shadow. And what do we do? Top center and the Y inset. What was the Y inset of the text? Let's see. It's 0, but it has some inset. So let's see what happens if we do 0. But if we do 0, it will be at the top. So I'm not sure how that is happening. 0. Oh, yeah, no. Let's just move it a little down. All right. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And we also want another text below this this picture, which gives you the name of the guest. This time we can't use the a layer variant because we want to have those texts on the screen at the same time. So what we have to do is we have to make a copy of the text. We can just go in and duplicate the layer. So we have the same settings already. We will remove one of the variants and just call that guest name. So, and move it down. Oops, no, not 2 M's, 1 M. And move it down to the bottom and also turn it on so we see where it's going. Where is it going? Oops, now it's, what did I do? What did I do? I think I moved it off screen. And that is because, can we align it in the bottom? No, we can't. We shouldn't. We should move the inset down. So that's what we didn't do. We did. Okay. Let's see if we can move the whole thing down. I think I know what's going on here. We need to move the whole thing down and the top inset. That's what we need to do. And then we'll just make sure that we have the left and right correct so it's centered. 0. Bottom inset 4 pixels, also 0. So now the guest name is down here. We still have some problem with the outline. Or did we? No, this one is not set to transparent for whatever reason. Let's do that. So maybe the font isn't exactly great. Maybe we'll have to rethink that design later on. But right now we'll just make sure that we have all the things in place that we need. So now we have the slate with the countdown, and we have slate. We have all the elements for the slate except for the image of the guest. And this is the beauty now of this system, is that I can just get the image of the guest and, you know, for for now, we can just do one of the split screens. We just select the guest via Zoom, so we get the live image of that person. We would probably replace that with a screenshot or a static image. And if we want to do that, there's an interesting feature in this whole thing, and that is called image writer. So what we can do is we can actually capture one picture of the guest. So we select the guest via Zoom, we put it to single shot JPEG, and when we just hit this button here, it will just take one picture of that incoming video stream and save that to our pictures folder. And so now we have this picture of this person here, and we'll just use that and put that in here into our document. So, oops, come on. Can I? Where is it? Pictures, and put that into my document. And now we have we can select that instead of the video. So now we have a static image of the guests, so they can keep moving around and talk whatever they want. And also we need the logo for the show. I don't have a show logo prepared. I should have a logo somewhere. I think I made one for that contains logo, and we look at let me see if I can find it. So demos. Yeah, for now, let's just use the office hours logo just for fun. Just put that in here. I think we'll have some problems with this one because it's transparent. So I will open it and we'll save it as a JPEG so that it gets it gets a background. That might be not such a good idea. I'll just take a screenshot because I think when I save it, it will get a white background, and the white logo on white background isn't that great. So let's just do that and use this as a stand-in for a logo for now. And we just select that here. And now we have basically rebuilt the slate in a dynamic way so that you can update the logo and the person who is coming in. And I think I will keep tweaking it a little bit so it looks a bit nicer. But now we just built like the 3 different layer sets for that. We have the we'll call that guest name. So just guest name, and we call that slate title. And this is the countdown. This is okay. So we'll just make remake the slate. The slate will be starting soon. The slate. So we'll just turn that on, and we'll just update this here. We'll remove the keyboard shortcut. just update this to reflect the current layer stack. We'll just have to do some other tweaks here later on, but for now, when we press slate, we will get this. For the countdown, we'll do another thing. We'll just switch this over to this, and we'll just update the current layer stack. So now we can switch between those two slates. And we can go to host solo. And to do that, we have to turn off this slate thing. Turn all the slates off and slate background. We can give that a color, a background color, so we see that this is all connected to each other. And group it basically this way. So we see all the is that the correct one? No, that's not the correct one. Which one was the correct one? The next one is the correct one. So we know that this all belongs to the slates. And yeah. Nice. Okay. And host solo, we have to update this to reflect the layer stack so that all the layers that we don't need are off. And now we can easily switch between the slate. We can go to the countdown. We can go to the host solo. And we can go to the 2-up. The 2-up still has the wrong background, so we have to replace the background here. And we'll just use our background for a second. Default landscape, that is the one. I think it's we should have a different background, right? But yeah, let me just fix that later. So the 2-up also has this lower thirds, the names, Michael Krasny and guest. I think that is already quite nice. And I think we can keep that. We just have to replace that as host name and guest name. And that already looks quite nice. And yeah, so we are making progress. But the hour is off, the hour is up. So I think I will stop here for now. And you can take some questions. And of course, save that document for now so I can continue to work on this. Yeah, do you have any questions? Ronnie?
Is there any reason why Alex decided to use Siphon going from the Zoom ISO and Black Hole SLDO?
Yeah, he started using Zoom ISO. So he started out using Zoom ISO and moved to mimoLive, and then he just kept the Zoom ISO. And I think he also uses Zoom ISO as a backup to record the guest so that the guest and the host as a backup. So if the recording fails, he still has a recording that is on a different computer or on a different in a different app, basically. So if mimoLive crashes, or should it crash, which it hasn't yet, as far as I know, it should. He still has a backup. I think that's the main reason that he's doing it this way. And also, he doesn't like to change things once they work, which I understand. But we are making a template for mimoLive, and we have the freedom to just change whatever we want. And yeah. Good. Any other questions? No other questions. Good, good, good. Anything else you want to discuss? The hour went quite
Oliver,
fast. Yeah,
oh,
Tony.
this might be a simple question, but the way you're sharing what you're doing in the Greymatter document, are you using mimoLive so that we can see that you're sharing it?
Yep, exactly. So I have one setup here where I have, maybe let me see if I can share this. I have one document that let me see. Maybe I can. Maybe I can share this. So I'm running one mimoLive instance on a Mac Mini M2 in my office with my camera attached and the ability. I could maybe show you because I should have. Do I have the camera? No, I don't have the camera, which is camera 5. Let me do that. Just switch to camera 5 here. So what you see is my messy desk and also the view from my over-shoulder camera here. So my mimoLive document runs on that M2 in my office, and I have a screen capture of a computer that runs in the cloud, which you see in the background. So this is basically a screen capture of a second Mac Mini M2 that is running in the cloud.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Good, good. Ronnie, you still have your hand raised. Do you want to ask another question, or is that still?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah.
What is
You don't have.
the easiest or most basic way of adding physical input or output? Could be HDMI or SDI. What is the easiest, let's say for at least two inputs, or maybe for normally we use Decklink in a Sonnet box with we have
Yeah.
Decklink duos, etc. But what is there any other and simpler way, Magewell or any other gadgets that can be run on a Mac Mini or similar?
Yeah, you can basically use any HDMI to USB capture thing. I don't like those because USB is a terrible source of headaches. Because if you run slower devices on the same bus, you get some problems and things like that. So you have to be careful where you connect your devices. And also a lot of devices, if you have 2 or 3 of them, they will interfere with each other because they have the same device ID and the same vendor ID and things like that. So I don't like it, but I have some customers who use multiple Elgato capture things, or the what is that 4K thing, or the Blackmagic mini recorder G3 3G, or things like that, and but I'm very much prefer NDI workflow. So what I do is I have a small switch that provides power over Ethernet and connect all my devices to that switch. And that what the advantage of that is that you don't really need a special capture card in the Mac, and NDI is much more yeah. So it's the network. The network way is much less prone to things like dropping the cables dropping out and things like that. because if you have like a Mac Mini, it does have a physical Ethernet connector on board. So you can use that, and we'll lock the cable, for example. So you don't have to worry about the USB-C or Thunderbolt cable dropping out of your computer and things like that. So I much prefer that.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, the way to get SDI and HDMI inputs, if you want them, is probably the external box with a capture card, because that gives you the most choices and the most bandwidth. And you know, if you want 5 SDI inputs and 4 HDMI inputs or something like that, that's easier to do in an external box. All right, guys, that was fun. I think we'll call it a day for today. Let me see that I stopped the recording.